Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the Horowitz Chaim's NIDCHEI YISRAEL, and he says beautifully like this: "V'hinei, behold, kol devareinu b'perek," everything that we're speaking about so far in this chapter, nichlal b'madi'isa v'Yushalmi, is included in the statement that is made in the Gemara Yushalmi, that says the following words: Tanya Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai Omer, the great Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai said, if you see that the people have despaired from the Torah, which means they're not learning it the way that they should, and they're not embracing it and keeping it the way that they should, and they've given up hope that the Torah is eternal, and it's what life is all about and what a Yid needs to do. If you live in a generation where you see that that is happening, you stand up and you strengthen them in the Torah. And then you will take the reward equal to all of them. If you see that there are people that are being lazy in their adherence of the Torah and the mitzvahs, if there are people that do not take their learning seriously, they don't even think you need to be learning Torah. If you see that there are people that are lax in mitzvah observance, that maybe previously they were much stronger, but now they're getting weak, and you see a generation that in general doesn't adhere to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's directives of the Torah, which is what every single neshama in Klal Yisrael needs in all generations, the same way that the neshama is needed by the Avos HaKadoshim, and by the days of Moshe Rabbeinu, and by the days of the Horowitz Chaim, our neshama is needed exactly the same. It could be even in our times, even more. Without the Torah, we would be lost. Without something to hang on to, we'll fall off this earth. We need the Torah. Ki eitz chaim lamach, it's a tree of life for each and every one of us. We need the Torah. And if you live in a time when you see that people are not taking the Torah seriously, they're misyayish, they despaired over the sanctity and the kedusha and the eternal link in the thread of Klal Yisrael that the Torah is all about, then you, amoid v'hachsek, you get up and you stand strong and proud in the face of Klal Yisrael and be mechazik them, strengthening them in their own learning and observance. And you will take the reward for everyone. All of the great reward that's going to be there, you're going to get a gigantic portion of that because you are the one that is upholding the Torah and Klal Yisrael. And the concept is like this: the Yadua Masham Chachmeni Zichron Racha. Chazal teach us the following concept: Malchusa de Rikia, the heavenly kingdom, Ke'ein Malchusa da'ara, is like the kingdom and the monarchy that takes place down here in this world. We see down here in this world, in a king of flesh and blood, in his palace, in his monarchy, he has many different types of mesharsim, of ministers. There are certain ministers very high up there in the chain of ministry. They're always sitting by the table of the king. They're very revered and very exalted, and they're very close to the king. There are ministers that are lower than that. And there are those that are very lowly in the world of their ministry, of who they are as ministers to the king. That means from the highest that level that you could reach by you sitting at the table of the king constantly, to the lowest minister, who perhaps maybe he's the janitor in the king's palace. There are many levels in between, but you could be from one end of the spectrum to the other. Vihine, and the truth is, miteva adam amaskil uchukosoi shiyale b'mala yoina, someone that is a wise individual, and he's striving for greatness. He will work his hardest. He'll serve the king faithfully. When the king sees, wow, look how faithful this servant and this minister is, look how much he reveres me, says the king, he'll give him a higher position in the monarchy. Uberivais hayamim yikra shekasher yavort b'timidas be'amunah livnei hamelech, and it takes many days and years for a person to be able to prove his allegiance to the king. Yenase es kisa al kol hasayim asher lefanav. Then as he keeps going up and up and up, he'll put him in the highest position that he could possibly be. Aval kol zeh matzui rak achar shanim rabos. But all of this is found after many, many years. Everybody can see this. Most of the ministers that are closest to the king are elderly people. They're in their 60s or their 70s. You'll almost never find a young man that is the closest of ministers to the king. Now the Horowitz is going to go into the end of this beautiful mashal next time to show us that sometimes you could do something that is above the laws of nature, that is out of the regular way in which the ministers raise up their honor in the eyes of the king, that even as a young man you'll be able to become a prized minister of the king and sit at his table constantly. And we'll see how we do that, and then we'll tie that back into our mission in Klal Yisrael. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos.